Ever find yourself standing at a casino cage, chips in hand, kind of wondering about the person on the other side?
Yeah.
That's a casino cashier. And today, we're doing a deep dive into their world.
It's easy to think they're just, exchanging cash for chips and vice versa, but it's a
Yeah,
lot more going on.
right.
I mean, they're responsible for handling a lot of money accurately and often in a really intense environment.
Yeah. We've got the career guide, Casino Cashier right here.
Yeah.
And it breaks it all down from like the daily tasks to career paths and everything.
Yeah.
What surprised you about this role when you were reading through it?
Honestly, the customer service aspect stood out to me right away.
Oh, interesting.
They're not just like tucked away in an office somewhere, right?
Hmm.
I mean, casino cashiers are interacting with people all day long.
Yeah, it's true.
And, those people are often experiencing some pretty intense emotions.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just about making change or, whatever.
Right.
It's reading people, managing expectations,
Yeah.
dealing with difficult customers, all while like remaining professional and friendly.
Exactly. You got to think about it. These cashiers, they're interacting with people who've just won big or lost everything.
Oh, man.
Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. So, yeah, you need strong interpersonal skills and a lot of empathy in this role.
Yeah, the guide mentions that cashiers need to have like a really good eye for detail
Mm-hmm.
and be comfortable with handling large amounts of cash. So those map skills definitely have to be on point.
100% accuracy is key.
Yeah.
Even a small mistake could have huge consequences.
And then there's the whole responsibility aspect of it too, right?
Oh, sure.
Making sure everything's, kosher with gaming regulations and internal controls.
Like financial guardians of the casino,
Yeah.
protecting the business and the players.
Okay, so let's talk about technology because we're seeing a lot more cashless systems in casinos these days.
Right.
So how is that impacting the role of a more traditional casino cashier?
That's a great question. And, it might seem like these cashless systems would eliminate the need for cashiers completely.
Yeah, you would think so, right?
You'd think so, but it's actually changing the skills that are required.
Interesting.
Instead of just counting cash now, they might be troubleshooting an issue with a digital wallet
Oh, wow.
or showing someone how to use a kiosk.
So digital literacy, cybersecurity, maybe even some basic tech support.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Those are becoming more and more important for casino cashiers.
So it's not just about the physical cash anymore. It's understanding the whole digital landscape of these transactions.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating.
It adds a whole other layer to the job.
It really does. It's really interesting to see how technology is reshaping this whole role.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the day-to-day, but what about building a career as a casino cashier? Is that a thing?
It is, and the career guide actually outlines a really clear path for that.
Oh, wow. So you could like start as a cashier, then move up to a senior cashier,
Yeah,
and then maybe even a supervisor or manager.
exactly. There's room to grow in this field.
That's awesome.
You're pretty cool.
So the guide is saying you can start as a cashier and work your way up,
Right.
maybe become a senior cashier, then a
Yeah.
supervisor,
Mm-hmm.
and then even potentially like a management role.
Yeah.
So there's some serious room for growth in this role.
It's not just a dead-end job.
Not at all.
It's interesting how the skills you develop early on, like accuracy and efficiency, those become really important if you want to move into a leadership position later on.
Yeah, it's like you got to build that solid foundation
Exactly.
before you can even think about, moving up to that next level.
And as you move up, you're not just managing money anymore.
Yeah.
You're managing people. So those people skills we talked about, they become super important.
Yeah, I noticed the guide even has those little profiles
Oh, yeah.
of people at different stages of their casino cashier careers.
Yeah, they're cool.
And it was really cool to see how people have like moved up and progressed.
Yeah, a lot of them talked about how important it is to keep learning new things.
Yeah, always be learning.
Not just getting comfortable in your position, but always trying to improve your skills and learn more.
Yeah, like always be adding tools to your toolkit, right?
Exactly.
And it seems like certifications are a big part of that.
Yeah, for sure.
The guide specifically mentions advanced cash handling and leadership and team management.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are valuable credentials.
It shows potential employers that you're serious about your career,
You're not messing around.
that you're committed to being the best you can be.
Invest in yourself, right?
Exactly.
Those certifications are like an investment.
Yeah, they show you're willing to go the extra mile, and that's huge.
Yeah, it shows initiative for sure.
Nobody's going to question your work ethic if you've got those certifications.
Exactly. Speaking of going the extra mile,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the interview process.
Okay.
Because I know you're a big fan of RoleCatcher
Huge fan.
and their tools and resources. So how can RoleCatcher help someone prepare for a casino cashier interview?
RoleCatcher is a game changer. because it takes all the guesswork out of interviewing. They have this database of interview questions. It's incredible.
Massive, right?
And it's tailored to different roles, including casino cashier.
It's like they have a crystal ball or something.
Like having a cheat sheet for your interview.
I was blown away by how many questions they have in there.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It really helps you get inside the interviewer's head.
And it's not just about memorizing the answers, right?
No way.
It's about understanding what they're looking for
Exactly.
and then like tailoring your answers.
So you can really showcase your strengths and show them you're the perfect fit.
Okay, so one of the things I really love about RoleCatcher is that AI-powered feedback system.
Oh yeah, that's a game changer.
Can you talk a little bit about how that works?
So you basically record yourself answering some practice questions,
Okay.
and then their AI analyzes everything.
Everything.
Your delivery, your content, all of it.
It's like having a personal coach in your pocket.
Exactly. And it's way less awkward than doing a mock interview with an actual person.
Oh, 100%. I hate doing mock interviews.
It gives you that extra boost of confidence.
And the AI is always learning.
That's right. It's not just some outdated program.
Constantly evolving.
It's keeping up with the times, just like the job market.
Okay, so let's talk about one more feature that I thought was really cool.
All right.
The skills gap analysis.
Oh, that's a good one.
This feels like a game changer.
It's huge.
For anyone who's serious about, like, moving up in their career.
Tell me about it.
So what is that all about?
So it looks at your skills, and then it compares them to the skills you need for the job you want.
Uh-huh.
And then it tells you what you need to work on.
That's amazing.
No more guessing games.
You know exactly what you got to do.
Exactly. It's like having a roadmap to career success.
Love that.
For aspiring casino cashiers, it could highlight the need to brush up on your tech skills, maybe.
Yeah.
Or it might suggest getting a specific certification to increase your chances of getting promoted.
It's all about being proactive.
Exactly.
And taking control of your career.
You're not just along for the ride, you're in the driver's seat.
I love that analogy.
It's about making strategic choices so you can reach your goals.
I love that we've covered the day-to-day tasks, the career progression, even how to prep for the interview.
It's been a good deep dive.
It really has.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Those KIPs.
Oh, right. The tips.
The guide mentions them briefly,
Right.
but I think it's worth digging a little deeper.
Yeah, they're often overlooked, but they can be a pretty big chunk of a casino cashier's income.
Really?
And the interesting thing is that those tips are directly related to customer satisfaction.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It's not just about getting the transaction done.
Right.
It's about making sure the customer has a positive experience.
Even if they're a little grumpy.
Especially if they're a little grumpy.
Because maybe they had a rough night at the tables.
Exactly. So being able to stay calm under pressure, having good people skills, being empathetic, all of that directly affects how much you earn.
It's true. You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, right?
That's the truth.
A little friendliness can go a long way.
It can make a big difference.
Maybe even lead to a little something extra in your pocket at the end of the night.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. We always think of casino floors as these like high energy kind of crazy places.
Right.
But the role of a casino cashier is almost like you're bringing order to that chaos.
Yeah, it's about being accurate and making sure everything's secure,
Right.
and yet creating a sense of calm in the middle of all the excitement.
Like they're the eye of the storm.
Exactly.
Providing stability in a world that's just constantly going and going.
And that takes a really interesting set of skills, right? You need that financial mind, but you also need that emotional intelligence.
It's true.
You're not just dealing with numbers, you're dealing with people and their experiences.
So we've talked about what a casino cashier does. The skills, the tasks, the career path.
Right.
But I'm kind of left wondering, like, who would thrive in this kind of role?
I think it's got to be someone who likes things fast-paced.
Yeah.
Someone who likes to master complex systems.
Okay.
And someone who really enjoys working with people.
Right. All kinds of different people.
Exactly. Someone who can handle anything and anyone.
It's about finding that satisfaction and bringing order to the craziness of it all.
Yeah, being that calm presence.
Exactly.
In a world that's always moving.
So maybe this role could even lead to something else within the casino.
Oh, totally.
Like maybe someone discovers a passion for security or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they really like the analytical side of things.
Yeah, or they work their way up to management.
Right.
And they use their experience to help train new cashiers
Yeah.
and shape the future of the casino floor.
So many possibilities.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
It just goes to show that, like, no matter what the job is,
Right.
it could be a stepping stone to something bigger and better.
100%. You never know where it might lead.
So to everyone listening out there, If you're interested in casinos
Yeah.
and you're drawn to jobs that combine financial skills and people skills, don't rule out being a casino cashier.
It's a great foot in the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It could be your way into a really dynamic and interesting industry.
And remember, RoleCatcher's got your back.
They do.
They'll help you with your resume, your interview, the whole 9 yards.
They've got the tools to help you succeed.
For sure.
Well, this has been another fascinating deep dive.
It really has.
Until next time, keep exploring those career paths.
Yeah.
And remember, fortune favors the well-prepared.
That's the truth.